Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. We are back on XDefiant. I do like the fact that we have double weapon XP for this weekend, although if I remember correctly, I think this is the fourth weekend in a row, either the third or fourth weekend that we've had double weapon XP. I am going to talk about that later on in today's video, but for today's video, I really want to just give my overall thoughts on what I think about XDefiant so far. I do want to get into the maps specifically that are available in this game. For me personally, I do enjoy the majority of the maps that are available in the pool that we have. However, there have been some exceptions that I really have not been a fan of, to be honest with you. My most favorite map that I have enjoyed playing without a doubt is definitely Arena. I've had the most fun playing on this map in comparison to some of the other smaller maps that this game has to offer. There are a few other ones that I enjoy playing on as well, like Showtime. I do love playing on Showtime. And as far as like the rest of the other maps that are available in this game that aren't small size, I do enjoy playing on Pueblito. Noodleplex is another big map that I have enjoyed playing on as well. I would say Attica Heights, but to be honest with you, it's been hit or miss for me. Like, sometimes I enjoy playing on Attica Heights, but then other times I don't enjoy it. As far as what my least favorite maps have been, I did give mention to Attica Heights, and I think another map that I have not enjoyed playing that much is Echelon. I really can't find myself to enjoy Echelon that much. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how people play on that map, how people move, and where to go to for better positioning to get kills and such, but overall, I haven't really found myself to enjoy Echelon as much as some other people have. But without a doubt, some of the maps that I have enjoyed playing on are Arena, which is what I'm playing right now. This is definitely my most favorite map. I've enjoyed playing on Noodleplex, Showtime, and a few other maps that I can't necessarily remember off the top of my head. I am looking forward to the new maps that we're going to get to play in Season 1 of XDefiant. I'm looking forward to playing on Clubhouse, Daytona, along with Rockefeller. I'm really hoping that some of those maps are good, if not most of them, with one exception or two. The fact that you can die from a grenade while behind cover is just preposterous. Another thing that I like about XDefiant is the factions in this game. Now, for me personally, the only faction that I have been maining the most has been the Far Cry faction, more specifically the Libertad Operator, where you basically get the heal. Admittedly, I haven't really gone out of my way to try the other operators and other factions to see what kind of abilities they have to offer in their own right for me to be able to counteract any other abilities that the opposition has to throw my way. But the fact that every operator in this game comes with an ability that you're able to counteract anything that they might throw at you, I do like that, as it gives people more critical thinking in figuring out exactly what they can use to fend off some of the most used abilities slash gadgets in this game. I can't believe we won that match. I wasn't even focusing on the score, but surprisingly we won. As far as the weapons in XDefiant goes, while I haven't tried each and every single gun to get a good idea as to how they feel in their own right, I do like the weapon selection that we currently have available to us. An underrated feature that I think a lot of people don't really recognize that we have in XDefiant is the fact that we have detailed weapon stats in regards to the build that we're currently using. I think this is a feature that not a lot of people really bother to check out to see how well their guns would do in a firefight. Now sure, there's definitely going to be some people who are going to look at this and think that this information isn't exactly true, but at the same time, the fact that Mark Rubin and his team were able to add a layer of transparency by including these detailed weapon stats so we could get a good idea as to how our guns would do when we're in a match, that is something that I genuinely think not a lot of people really appreciate. It is something that I think not a lot of people really appreciate, but the fact that we still have it is really nice to see. Hell, if you look at the bottom left corner, you do have the option to filter specific attachments out of your weapon build so you could get a good idea as to how your weapon would do with the specific attachment that you have on it. Just this level of detail is something that I really appreciate having in this game. As far as the mastery camos go, I mean, they're alright. I will admit gold does look pretty good, but all in all, like these weapon camos, like they're alright. And the reason why I say that is because I've been so used to getting the types of camos that we've gotten in Call of Duty, because if you look at the camos we've gotten in Call of Duty, they are outlandish and are just so much more better than what we currently have in XDefiant. But at the same time, the fact that we do have a mastery camo grind in place for these guns, it's appreciated. I will give them that. Another thing that I do like about XDefiant, especially when we have double weapon XP, is that if you happen to go and use any weapon XP boosters that you currently have available, it's able to stack and stack and stack to where you're able to have quad weapon XP. And if you're somebody who happens to have a lot of weapon XP boosters, you're able to use those to stack on top of the double weapon XP that we currently have in game, so that way you can earn a whole lot more and then level up your guns a lot quicker. Now, as far as myself goes, I do have some weapon XP boosters. However, I haven't really bothered using them that much because I've gotten so used to using the double weapon XP that is available to us, and on top of that, I've also gotten so used to the fact that you can't use your weapon XP boosters or tokens to stack on top of what we currently have right now. Now, as far as the movement goes in this game, I will admit it does feel pretty clunky, but at the same time, I understand why there are certain like penalties if you end up doing specific actions. Like for example, let's say you wanted to bunny hop like a fucking weirdo. If you end up bunny hopping a bit too much, you end up getting this huge aiming idle sway, and then you have to wait like a few seconds for it to stop so that way you can get back to having your normal accuracy. I don't understand why you are just camping back there. Like, what are you doing, you creature? He's still back there. Like, what are you doing, you creature? He's still going back there. Like, bro, you are a creature. The idle sway penalty also applies if you end up crouching up and down a bit too much. I can't believe what I'm seeing, dude. This is absolutely disgusting. Now, as far as to what I have not enjoyed about XDefiant, definitely there are players who abuse the hell out of the movement by bunny hopping repeatedly or constantly, I would say. I get it, you want to be able to have freedom in regards to how you want to move in the game, etc. I totally understand that. But if you are somebody who is bunny hopping constantly to try to avoid bullets being penetrated into your body by some other player, bro, you are so afraid of actually fighting somebody with your boots on the ground. I didn't mean to get that emotional, but what I will say is bunny hopping from other players in this game has been very annoying to try to counteract. Dude, you can't be serious, man. Another thing that I don't like in this game is the fact that you don't have the ability to prone. Like, if I'm trying to evade an enemy's line of fire and the only options that I have are being able to crouch, it makes it a bit more difficult for me to be able to evade the enemy's line of fire, which is why I wish we had the ability to be able to go prone in this game. You are such a weird creature! I would go elsewhere on the map, but because this dude seemingly is trying to go for long shots, I know he's gonna try to get the kill on me. God damn it, man. But as I mentioned, I do wish you had the ability to prone so that way you have more options in figuring out exactly how you want to evade the enemy's line of fire. Another thing that I don't like about XDefiant is the shortage in game modes that we have available to us, because right now we only have escort, zone control, domination, occupy, and hotshot. The fact that we don't have like normal team deathmatch or search and destroy or any other game mode of that matter, it is a bummer, but I am aware that Mark Rubin and his team are hard at work in trying to implement their version of search and destroy in this game, and on top of that, they're also trying to get it released as soon as possible. And on top of that, I am also aware that they are adding another game mode in Season 1 of XDefiant, which will be Capture the Flag. So while I am looking forward to those game modes releasing, at the same time, I do stand on the fact that I don't like that we have a shortage of game modes in this game right now. Although I should have said it's my opinion when saying that I don't like the amount of game modes that we currently have available to us, because we only have 5 game modes when we should have at most 8. Oh man, Attica Heights. I mean, I'm gonna make the most of it, but I'm not expecting too much. Like, this has been the only operator that I've been maining ever since I started playing this game through their server test sessions. I would try some of the other operators, but I just haven't really had the urge to do so. I'm more concerned with healing as quickly as possible rather than putting up some type of barrier to prevent an enemy's line of fire from penetrating me. Another thing that I also have not liked about XDefiant is the hit registration / netcode in this game. So let's say I were to empty an entire magazine into an enemy and I have my accuracy on point. Some of the bullets will penetrate through the enemy, but some of the other bullets won't end up penetrating through the enemy. And as far as the netcode goes, let's say I were to run around the corner to evade an enemy's line of fire. There have been instances where I have successfully ran around a corner to evade an enemy's gunfire and I still end up dying to them, despite the fact that I have evaded their line of fire. I'm not sure if it's 100% possible for you to wallbang enemies. I have had a few instances where I was able to wallbang enemies, but for the most part, every time that I've ran around a corner to evade a person's gunfire, I still end up dying to them. Now, Mark Rubin and his team did release a fix to where the hit registration and netcode would get improved upon, and while there still have been a few instances where I would still get penetrated by bullets after successfully running around a corner, at the same time I'm not dealing with it as often as I was before. And on top of that, more bullets do register when I'm trying to penetrate an enemy with my line of fire in comparison to how it was before, so I do notice the improvements without a doubt.
Amigos capturing Zone C.
I did forget to mention earlier on in the video, but another thing that I do like about XDefiant is the fact that this game does not have aim assist, especially if you're playing on controller. I've gotten so used to playing Call of Duty where the game basically holds your hand and gives you a lot of aim assist, but it's not like that in XDefiant, which I do appreciate. Having no aim assist basically allows me to try to learn exactly how to lead my shots and get my accuracy on point, so that way I have a better chance of getting more and more kills rather than the likes of Call of Duty where aim assist does a lot of the work for me, and as a result I'm able to get easier kills. The biggest positive that I have with XDefiant is the fact that there is no skill-based matchmaking in the casual playlist. If you are somebody who does want to experience skill-based matchmaking, you can play the beta version of the ranked mode in this game, or if you are a brand new player and you're just starting out playing XDefiant for the first time, there is a welcome playlist where there is skill-based matchmaking enabled. But once you've reached like level 25, then the welcome playlist will no longer be available. Therefore, you're able to just jump into the casual playlist and game modes that are available, which means that skill-based matchmaking will not be present whatsoever. And that has been the biggest positive that I have enjoyed from playing this game, because for the longest time I've had to deal with playing against people who were around the same level as me, if not higher, and not only that, but they also play the exact same way that I do. So whenever I'm getting murked by a group of enemies on the other team, it makes me end up trying so much harder to ensure that I end up getting the edge over the opposition. But even when I do that, I still end up getting queued in lobbies with players who end up becoming a whole lot better than me, and it just becomes this constant war where I'm still continuing to play against people who play just as well as I do, if not better, and it can be so mentally exhausting. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that when playing this game because I'm able to queue into a match with players who are, let's say, level 62, or players who are level 10 or 25 or 7. Like, it doesn't matter which level you are, I'm still able to queue in a lobby with those types of players rather than queuing in a lobby with players who are around the same level as I am. But without a doubt, having no skill-based matchmaking in the casual playlist has been the biggest positive that I have enjoyed the most from playing this game. And as far as the biggest negative that I have with this game, it's how long it takes to level up a gun to get it to max level. When you're not using weapon XP boosters or you don't have a double weapon XP weekend, it takes a very long time to level your guns up to the max level. With the amount of weapon XP that you earn from weekends like this, especially when you exclude the weapon XP boosters that you used to stack on top of the weapon XP you get from the game giving you, I think it needs to be the default going forward. $32-20. Not too shabby, I will say, even though I got the least amount of time on the objective. Now, if I had to round up the 3 main things that I would like to see get implemented into XDefiant in the near future, it would be this. The ability to go prone, because just being able to crouch behind specific objects, it simply just isn't enough to be able to evade an enemy's line of fire, especially if we're hiding behind an object where half of our body gets covered, and then some point when we go and crouch, a part of our body is still peeking at the top. So being able to have the option to prone would be nice to have. Another suggestion I would have is to increase the rate of weapon XP that we earn from leveling up our guns. I am aware that Mark Rubin and his team are currently working on adjusting the rate in which how much weapon XP you earn in the game, but I genuinely think that with how much weapon XP you earn from weekends like this, especially when you exclude the fact that you're able to use your weapon XP boosters to stack on top of what you currently earn, I do think that how much weapon XP you currently earn from weekends like this, it needs to be the standard going forward. And the third suggestion that I could think of is more game modes. You know, like TDM, Search and Destroy. Hell, it would be nice to see them come up with their version of party games. One in particular, I would like to see them add gun game into this game just to see how it would play out on a game like this. But I want to know from you guys, what are your pros and cons from playing XDefiant for the amount of time that you've been playing this game so far? And if you had any suggestions on what you would like to see get added into this game, what are they? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to know what you guys have to say. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you're more than welcome to drop a like on it. And if you enjoyed this type of content, you're more than welcome to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Discreet, and I'll catch you in the next video.